Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, May 14th, 2017. Welcome to Morning Hair. And today is Mother's Day. This may be a long Mother's Hair because I wanted to talk about Romeo and Juliet, but let's face it, it's Mother's Day. And if you have forgotten to buy a present for that special someone, I'm going to give you my own patented, copyrighted Mother's Day song. Ready? It's easy. Ready? You may recognize the original melody is Stranger in Paradise, but did you know that the original tune came from the Polivettes and Dance Number 3 by Borovic? You had to be born in the 1950s to understand that reverence. So here we go. Mother's Day. M is for the many things she does. O is for the other things she does. T is for the things I said she does. H is for the 100 things she does. E is for everything she does for me. R is for she really does them well. Put them all together, they spell mother. And my mother thinks I'm very swell. I sang that song for my mom about 30 years ago because I forgot it was Mother's Day, didn't have a present. And she gave me the look. And I missed the look because mom's no longer with us. But when mom goes away, suddenly the universe has a way of giving you that look. Yeah, and you can tell when you've done something wrong when all of creation goes, okay, so there you go. That's my Mother's Day song. Let's see. You know, when I think about Mother's Day, my mom had a mother, and that mother had a mother, and on and on and on back to the very beginning, which is always sort of an awesome thought to me, that at the time William Shakespeare first performed Romeo and Juliet, I had direct ancestors. I had a straight line. I had people who were walking the earth on that day. So too, when Constantine became the first Christian Roman emperor, I had direct ancestors that had to have been around then. When Jesus walked, I had direct ancestors. Everything in history that has recorded, has happened, you and I had to have direct ancestors that were walked at that time. I'm not talking about second cousins 5 times removed. No, I'm talking about a great grandfather or grandmother. So we are all tied to history. And so too, when they first start that colony on Mars, we're going to have descendants that are alive then. You know, when we finally create that perfect robotic companion, that'll be that may be the end of it. But until then, we are tied to history. We all have living people, living ancestors, direct ancestors that were around at all the important historic events. I like to think that one of my ancestors didn't really sign the Constitution, but probably provided the bleach that kept the paper white. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Hey, let's talk about Romeo and Juliet for just a second, because the prince, let's talk about the prince. You know, the funny thing about Romeo and Juliet is that it has a happy ending. You didn't see that coming, did you? The happy ending of Romeo and Juliet. But it does, and I'll explain why when we get to the end. But the prince, now here's the thing about the prince. The prince, he has a responsibility to the welfare of the state, of Verona. He's the Prince of Verona. And his job is to make sure that Verona is safe and secure. Now, as the prince, I don't mind a duel every now and then. That really benefits the state, because if two guys are going to duke it out over something, why not let them fight? Let them avoid the courts altogether. Let them fight. Whoever wins the fight must be the better soldier, and so would be better able to defend the state. Okay, and so the prince doesn't care that much when one Montague fights one Capulet, or even when two Montagues fight two Capulets, because the survivors will be better able to defend the state. But the problem is that Act 1, Scene 1, Romeo and Juliet, it starts as 1 against 1, then it's 2 against 2, then it's 3 against 3. Then the townspeople rise up. And so this is the thing the prince can't have. He cannot have a civil war, because the Montagues and the Capulets are two powerful families, and they probably have powerful friends. And if a civil war breaks out, all those powerful families have to pick sides. And the prince doesn't want that, because if I lose half of my able-bodied fighting men, then Verona becomes ripe for the taking from neighboring city-states. And so that's the point at which the prince has to say, let's stop this nonsense right now. And he gives a threat to Capulet and Montague. You know, if ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the floor for the peace. But they don't, because you got to be careful about using absolutes, because the peace is broken just a couple of scenes later. And yet he does not kill Mr. Montague or Mr. Capulet. So today, it is Mother's Day. Be a prince to your mom. For crying out loud, she screamed and wailed in agony just to bring you into this world. the least you can do is buy a card and don't print one off the internet and sign it, which is what I did, because cards are expensive. And anyway, have a great Mother's Day. Call your mom if you can. If you can't, say hi to her the old-fashioned way. And have a great Mother's Day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow, and